Welcome back to the Truth Over Comfort show. On our last video, we discussed Mark Middleton, the Clinton aide from the 90s who let old Jeffrey Epstein to go meet Bill Clinton in the White House in 1994 and onwards, along with Ghislaine Maxwell. I'll show you the nice little photo soon. Who was found with an extension cord around his neck. Okay. Oh, and then with a shotgun blast to the chest, deemed a suicide. He also had some pretty peculiar connections to some Chinese figures, which we found through Whitney Webb from a 1990s US congressional investigation into Mark Middleton and other figures who was taking campaign figures for the DNC, the Democratic Party, from alleged some Chinese military figures and other people there. If you want to learn more on that, go check out Whitney Webb's work. She's got a book coming out. She just did a Rofkin episode about Mark Middleton. She's discussed it in other ones. So check that out. Check out my last video about the subject, or just online. I don't know loads and loads about the specifically Chinese part. I just thought I'd throw that in, just a paragraph out of it. But anyway, hanging from an extension cord from a tree with a shotgun blast to your chest at a ranch many miles away from where you live, with connections to the president and Jeffrey Epstein, where people keep cropping up dead. It's just, So on the last video, I actually discussed how, so if you want to start at Robert Maxwell falling off a boat, whether there's anything strange there, I don't know myself. But then you skip ahead, you go to Jeffrey Epstein, found dead, hanging in his cell, suicide. Then we have the Deutsche Bank case, where the judge overseeing the Deutsche Bank Jeffrey Epstein case, because the investors basically suing Deutsche Bank over, they should have been more careful with how much he was taking out. The judge's son is shot and killed. Her husband is shot, survives. And then the person who committed that, or allegedly committed that, then committed suicide. Whether it's him or not, who knows? But all these people keep cropping up dead. And then I missed out one. Jean-Luc Brunel, the head of a French modeling agency back in the day, friends with Jeffrey Epstein, friends with Ghislaine Maxwell, who is arrested by the French police before he's about to go to the airport and go to Senegal. What happens to him? He's found hanging in his cell in Paris. So there we go. We got, again, another one who killed himself. So we got 3 suicides, 2 in a prison cell, with 2 of them being on trial. Yeah, that's not strange. So as well, so he's been alleged to have committed rape, sexual assault over the years. There was a 60 Minutes CBS piece looking at the model agency he works for, called Karen Modeling or something. I'll get to it in a second, where these girls said basically if you didn't have sex with them, you wouldn't get work. These are, of course, allegations of being drugged and then raped, waking up in beds, all this stuff. So he's had all these allegations for years, and then it builds up. He's obviously arrested, and then allegations of being involved with trafficking children to Jeffrey Epstein. And the thing about being the head of a model agency, especially one where you work with teenagers, I'm not sure if it went below 16 with these models. I don't care if it's 16 and you're a grown man, it's creepy. It's a creepy job. If you're the head of a model agency for teenagers who don't wear many clothes and they're getting changed a lot, and it's creepy. I'm 21 years old and 16, that's off limits. It's weird. And if you're a grown man and that's your profession, it's kind of like they say, oh, it's for the arts and magazines and all this stuff. No, it's weird. It's weird. And this stuff happens with stuff like that. It happens in Hollywood and, channels like Disney, where obviously there are lots of child actors and they kind of just grow up too fast, and they're around a lot of stuff. And then, it's like like popes and stuff in the Catholic Church who are found out to be pedophiles. They don't, become a pope so they can be a pedophile. They're just pretty good jobs where you have access to it, and it sort of gets swept under the rug a lot. And model agency is probably one of the weirdest one. With TV, you can say, they don't have to be like naked. in little clothes, but model agency is, and as well as, funny with Jeffrey Epstein. So Jean-Luc Luc Brunel has lots of access to kids. So obviously he's being had allegations of child trafficking to Jeffrey Epstein. Les Wexner, head of Victoria's Secret. Wonder how many friends this guy who are heads of model agencies, and it's just a coincidence that they're friends, and there's all this weird stuff going on. So anyway, we'll get to it. I'm just going to read a certain bit of an article and to show you how Virginia Woolf, even in 2016 in a deposition, brought up Jean-Luc Brunel. So again, this is old news. Not old news, sorry. The documents were kind of recent. So again, allegations over the years. So this is Jeffrey Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell, and Bill Clinton in the White House. Nice shake of the hands there. Thanks to Mark Middleton. Check out that video if you want. It's on YouTube as well, as always. But anyway, let's dive straight into it. So Jean-Luc Brunel, held on suspicion of supplying girls to Epstein, found hanged. So this is quite funny. Even all the mainstream media and Wikipedia found hanged, not like, oh, suicide, or it's always allegedly, because these suicides, just there's so much, they're on trial, or they're friends with this person and he's in trouble, and they're friends with powerful people, and they have to say they allegedly killed themselves, because who knows? And maybe Jeffrey Epstein and Jean-Luc Brunel did kill themselves because they're old and they don't want to spend the rest of their life in prison. It's a real possibility. Jeffrey Epstein is a lot more questionable because, the cameras and stuff. Not sure what happened with this one with cameras and stuff, if there's footage. Doesn't actually mention it. But anyway, this happened in February 2022. So, former model agency boss accused of rape and suspected of trafficking minors has died in prison. So the former boss of a French model agency accused of rape and under investigation on suspicion of supplying underage girls to the late American financier Jeffrey Epstein has been found dead in prison. By the way, this article not very long, so I'll probably read most of it. Check out yourself if you want, but not very long. The body of Jean-Luc Brunel, who's 75, was reportedly found hanging in his cell in the early hours of Saturday. The French prosecutor's office confirmed the report and said an inquiry had been opened into the exact cause of death, but early indications pointed to suicide. Just to show you, by the way, that he is, pictured with them, just to clear it up. So there you go. Nice picture of him, playing with Ghislaine Maxwell, having a laugh. Who is this person who's constantly taking these photos? That's what I don't understand. Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, and Jean-Luc Brunel on his plane. He's got a fancy, exotic pair of tracksuit on there. But anyway, just wanted to clear that up just so you can see, they actually photographed together and known each other a long time. Brunel was arrested in December 2020 at Charles de Gaulle Airport before boarding a plane for Dakar in Senegal, where he told the police he was going on holiday. He was officially put under investigation on allegations of the alleged rape of a minor and sexual harassment shortly after his arrest, and was put under a second investigation for the rape of a minor in June last year. Investigators had also questioned Brunel on suspicion of human trafficking of underage girls for sexual exploitation. He's being held in remand in La Santé prison in Paris. Several top models have come forward to accuse him of sexual assault and rape, and French police have reportedly interviewed hundreds of potential witnesses. Brunel had denied any wrongdoing or any involvement in illegal activities. He disappeared from public life shortly after Epstein's death in August 2019. Epstein also hanged himself in a prison cell while awaiting trial. Wow, look at that. In the 1990s, Paris-born Brunel was a model, talent scout, and a boss of the prestigious agency Karen Models. So there's a segment here I'll put in the show notes. Couldn't find the full thing, unfortunately. Hopefully I might be able to. I did watch it, and that's where the allegations, what I spoke about at the start, of being drugged, of them basically threatening not to let you have work if you have sex with them. So this was when he was working for Karen, where's it gone? Karen Models. And this was a CBS 1988 60 Minutes piece. So I'll try and find it, but I'll put that in no matter what. After he was banned from the agency in Europe 1999, following a BBC undercover report on abuse in the fashion industry, he moved to the US and founded MC2 Model Management with funding from Epstein. He is credited with discovering a number of supermodels, including Christy Turlington and Mila Djokovic. He met with Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's partner, in the 1980s, and she had introduced him to Epstein. Brunel had been released on bail last November, but had been ordered to return to prison after a few days to await trial. His legal team said in a statement, his distress was of the man of 75 years old, caught up in a media legal system that we should be questioning. Jean-Luc Brunel never stopped claiming his innocence and made many efforts to prove it. His decision to end his life was not driven by guilt, but by a deep sense of injustice. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So the guy who's been alleged, you could say maybe back then, oh no, it wasn't true. But come on, you find out that then he was accused of it. He's friends with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell for years. He works he's not being accused by like random people. He's being accused by models. He's the head of a model agency. He's friends with a paedophile and sex trafficker, Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. And he's still being, allegations through the years up until then. Of course his legal team's going to say that. Oh, he's a poor old 75-year-old man caught up in the media legal system, meaning like the media is blowing up, so then he's, in court because of it. Come on, give it up. Just, he's dead. You don't have to pretend he's not scum. In 2015, Virginia Roberts Wolf, how do you say her surname? Can't remember. I'm sure it's Wolf, who recently accepted an undisclosed sum from Prince Andrew, another Epstein friend, after bringing a civil case against the royal, accused Brunel of supplying girls to Epstein. So I'll get to that in a second. Literally just going to show you Control F that he's mentioned in this 2016 deposition. And she said the American finance has bragged to her that he had slept with more than 1,000 of Brunel's girls. Virginia Woolf, who was abused by Epstein, had claimed she had sex with Prince Andrew on 3 occasions, the first of which when he was 17-year-old, the prince had denied her claims. Maxwell, 59, is currently in prison in the US, having been convicted of sex trafficking. French prosecutors said Brunel's death would put an end to the legal case unless other suspects were put under investigation. Kind of like where, Jeffrey Epstein, all this stuff could come out about these powerful people. We only ever hear about Prince Andrew and Bill Clinton and maybe, Kevin Spacey will pop up. But who else was on there? Like, there must have been so many more people. They're just, the most public one because there's plenty of photos with them. But like him, the case looked like it was going to disappear because the man they're investigating is gone. And they need another suspect. Luckily, we got Ghislaine Maxwell. That seems like that's just done and dusted. So it kind of looks like it's almost tied up, really. They literally tied up 2 of them and maybe more of them, which is pretty annoying. And even in this BBC article, I'm not going to read it, where a couple others other than Virginia Woolf accuse him of the similar thing, say they're kind of annoyed that he's dead because they're not going to get their day in court. Same as Jeffrey Epstein. They got it with Ghislaine Maxwell, but we didn't get much from it, did we? So here, if you want to read the Wikipedia page, discusses, all the rape allegations over the years. And here, so this is the 2016 Virginia Woolf Maxwell 2016 deposition in Colorado from the looks of it. So she's being asked the question. Okay, name the other politically connected and financially powerful people that Ghislaine Maxwell told you to go have sex with. Again, I'm going to tell you they, because that's how it went, as in Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein, I think he means. They instructed me to go to George Mitchell, Jean-Luc Brunel, Bill Richardson, and another prince that I don't know his name, a guy that owns a hotel, a really large hotel chain. I can't remember which hotel it was, so she obviously wasn't sure here. And then again, the person's asked, other than Glenn Dublin, Stefan Kaufman, Prince Andrew, Jean-Luc Brunel, and Bill Richardson, another prince who else, if you asked her, and she can't remember everyone's name. Not sure if that 1000 comment was on here. I don't think so. And if I'm not mistaken, Bill Richardson was the governor of New Mexico, and Jeffrey Epstein had that weird ranch in New Mexico. Yeah, he's an American politician, author, and diplomat who served as the 30th governor of New Mexico from 2003 to 2011. That's kind of interesting. She's mentioned him. He's the governor of New Mexico. There's a ranch in New Mexico. Anyway, that's for another day. I think that's everything. But yeah, so another person who's involved with this whatever sex trafficking, intelligence operation, or just some really sick people. I'm sure it's more than that, but these powerful people who they hang around with, a lot on the line, and these people keep winding up dead. We don't even have all the names who people was like, oh, it's the Clintons who are whacking them. Maybe, but what about all the other people that we're not even aware of, because we kind of just get repeated the same names. It's pretty annoying, but there you go. Jean-Luc Brunel, head of French modeling agency, has been accused of rape all over the years. Is friends with Jeffrey Epstein, pictured with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, found hanging in his cell just like his buddy Jeffrey Epstein. So I'm going to leave it there. If anyone wants to comment anything in the future, there's more information about Jean-Luc Brunel and where this case is gone. I don't think it's really gone any further. As they said, he's dead now, so the case sort of just killed off because they need another suspect. Even though he should just carry on, and he doesn't need to be alive, and they can charge his name at least to know what's come out. Just keep going. Sure, he can't be questioned, but there's still documentation, allegations. But I'm not sure how the whole legal system works. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for tuning in to the Truth Over Comfort Show.